When we first start trawling, you could go either with a little old logger boat and a single rig, you know, or a peach skiff and a single rig. You catch all the shrimp you want. Make a damn good living. And then more and more people start coming into the industry. And better equipment. Okay? And that kept the catches going up. But that's false. That's not a true catch line. You just put more fishermen there, which means you're going to produce more. In reality, this thing was, you know, already starting to break in nature. I seen it, and a couple of other people seen it, but 90% of the people didn't see it. Okay, 99%. Quality catches go down too, and the amount of catches go down. You know, everything go. You know, it don't all go at once. That's what's fooling. It's just a slow process. Now let me explain to you how it happened. When we started producing oil in this part of the country, South Louisiana, okay, before that you had a pretty basic catch line, and always the catch line runs like this. It's up, then it's down. 3.5 years up, 3.5 years down. It might be up here on crabs this year, but down here on fish this year. It's a natural cycle. It's a 3.5 year cycle going up, 3.5 year cycle going down. It's never a straight line. But you get these lines and you can draw a pattern on it, okay? But when you start doing things that's tampering with nature, you get these lines that go extremely high. And let me tell you how they go high. When you start drilling for oil, you start having to put pipeline canals in, oil location, cut navigation canals and all that. So what you doing? Wherever you dig, you release energy into the water. And you create more water. There's 8,000, maybe 9,000 miles of new shoreline in this state. And it's from pipeline canals, locations, they're just about 1,000. So when you do that, you start releasing this energy relatively fast off of the banks. You create more of a shoreline, which we have a shoreline fishery in this state. Basically what it is inland water, shoreline fishery. The crabs, the shrimp, the fish, everything along those shorelines get this new burst of energy, and catches go out of sight. Okay? Which draws more fishermen to the industry now, because catches keep going up. They come running in. All right.
Easier.
So that goes on for a while, and then you have the natural erosion starts, and you start losing more shorelines, and you're dividing up this pie. And now all this shoreline fishery that you created, you start shrinking it now because it's eroding away. More energy's going over the water. The catches are still going up because the energy's getting into the water, and it's called detritus. It's dead grass and plant matter and stuff that's washing in. That's what the little zooplankton feed on. That's the real nutrients of the water, not these nutrients they put in today. All right, so after you get this saltwater intrusion in here, and you lose all this energy, and you lose all the shoreline fishery, then the catches start to go down. Meanwhile, you've got this extremely high number of fishermen that entered into the fishery, and they're up here, but the peak line of the catch is doing this. So fishermen start dropping out, and the fish themselves are going down every year, until you hit a collapsing point. All right, that happened in '86.
'86.
That's when the industry basically collapsed. The whole thing crumbled. I tried to tell people what happened. They wouldn't listen what happened. I talked on this same thing in Washington. And the congressman in Washington, the chairman of the committee, I believe he was from Maine or Connecticut. I can't remember which one. It's been so long ago. He told me, he said, I heard you talk for 5 minutes on this. And I heard a scientist talk for 3.5 hours one day. And I never did understand what he was saying. And you made me understand right away. You just lost land mass, and you lost the energy in the water. Now the fishing is going to hell. And that's what's wrong. So we had to reverse some of that. And you want people, people want you to say, we're going to bring it back like it was when my grandfather was here. It ain't going to happen that way. Because the first thing, we had more in the 50s, 60s, and 70s than you had when my grandfather was here. Because you created this false fishery. It really didn't exist in nature. We had plenty out there, don't get me wrong, in those days. But it wasn't at the rate we had it there. Let me go back to my grandfather's days. It was damn tough then.
Yeah.
There's plenty of times you couldn't find fish and you couldn't find shrimp in those days too.